Good evening. We have a very interesting and curious topic to go into. Essentially, we're continuing with this theme, which is the way of the Logos. It's key, Logos. Spiritual Logos is a spiritual path through the mind. And now we're bridging it into dreams. Now, how does that relate to dreams? Well, I'll make a couple of marks on a piece of paper because we're going to be covering quite a bit of ground. We could start with one question, which is, why Plato? Why Plato? Why go back to Plato? Let me give you the problem Socrates faces in the Republic. He's talking about two states of mind. One is the most luminous light of being, which is, of course, Savikalpa, samadhi in Hindu terms. But we will call it what Plato calls it, the most brilliant light of being. He's discussing this fantastic experience into the nature of ultimate reality. And he says to his colleague Glaucon, by the way, this magnificent experience, which reveals the very nature of ultimate reality, really is a product of something called the good. He said, but it's so difficult to talk about the good. He said, I'll tell you what I can do. I'll talk about the idea of the good. Now, the word idea means to behold. So to behold the good is having this experience. So in Hindu terms, which perhaps a good number of you are familiar with, Nirvikalpa, Savikalpa, samadhi, similar in the Tibetan Book of the Dead, two states of mind, the archetypal experience that nearly everyone, of course, seeks and is challenged to understand. So as Plato goes through this and he explains it to Glaucon says, wow, this is, you mean this came to birth through this? He said, yeah. This gave to birth this. He said, now to understand it, is we have to unfold an analogy. And the analogy is, I'll take the lower part first, as the sun is to light, so too the good itself, the ultimate, is to the most brilliant light of being, or divine luminosity. For terminology. And they go back and forth exploring this rather amazing analogy because it's the sum total of philosophy and the spiritual life. And they said, look here, there's something important about this, you see. That means the nature of the appearances stands to the metaphysical region or realm as an analogy. There's something similar going on between the two. One is greater, one is lesser. Same dynamics. Therefore, the terms may vary. Relationships are constant. So Glaucon says, wow, that's how do you get a hold of that? He says, when you get a hold of that, I'll tell you what you got to do. He said, you have to understand that to get into this experience. He said, you have to understand how the way the mind functions. That's what you have to do. You have to see how the mind functions. He said, you know where the mind functions? He said, it operates on 4 levels. He said, you can engage in image thinking. Images dominate a good part of our mind, right? Image thinking. But image thinking has a source. And the source is some belief. And therefore, this gives birth to that. Similar to what we were saying a moment ago. Yeah, relations are constant, terms vary. He said, now this is the everyday realm. He said, now if you want to get into something more profound in the nature of ultimate reality, he said, you have to leave this. And therefore you have to get into something new called understanding. Now, we should put little brackets around it, because what he means by it, I would like to introduce to you, because it's not what we normally consider understanding. He said, I'll tell you what understanding is in a moment. He says, by the way, you have to get to real knowing, right? Pure knowing. For that is the experience of this is the object of knowledge. This is beyond knowledge. He said, this is an object of knowledge, and you have to train your mind to perceive it and get that experience. By the way, watch now. All the ways you can bring yourself to understand that experience, all the ways in which you can understand it, and all the ideas that you may be able to infer coming out of this experience, all of that. Here you are. Having this experience, you can infer many things about it. Its beauty itself, its divine luminosity, it's something it truly is. All of these terms can be said to emerge from that experience. That and only that are objects of understanding. Has nothing to do with any other kind of understanding. So Glaucon says, hey, wait a minute. It's pretty heavy. Socrates says, yeah. Well, you asked about it. He said, you know what? I'd like to see this a little better. Oh, yeah, okay, so I'll tell you what I'll do then. He said, I'll create a story for you. And so he creates a allegory. The allegory of the cave in the upper world. He said, you know what? He said, most of us, you know where we live? We're caught up in images, and therefore, you know, we really are creatures that live in a kind of a cave. And we're chained and fettered, and all we can do is look forward. Can't move our heads around, therefore we don't know one another. We can only see the shadows bouncing on the wall. And these shadows come from the fact that there are some people walking back and forth carrying things on the top of their heads, and there's a fire behind them, and that luminosity then therefore bounces off the wall, and that produces the shadows. See, there are a couple of guys over here, by the way, and they're talking to one another, and equally well, their voices echo off the walls, and therefore this is the total experience of someone who's ignorant. What do? They believe these shadows on the wall of the cave is real things. And some get prizes for anticipating which one comes first and which comes second, and they give all kinds of laurel wreaths to people who can try to understand the shadows on the wall of the cave. But they never see, they can't free themselves, they're fettered, they're chained. So in terms of the story then, along comes someone, comes down, forces one of these people to answer questions that releases the chains, and then they have to see, one, the objects, right? The objects of the shadows, beliefs. They have to see what generated it, the fire. Then they have to be dragged upward into the everyday world, out of the everyday world into the world of the divine. He said broken up in two parts. At first it's difficult up here because it's dark and you have to get used to everything, and it's very difficult to focus your mind. But then with experience you then can see things and shiny objects such as surfaces of pools and things of that nature. He said, you know what? When you finally get really better off, you can see that these images that you've been looking at here, with true knowing, you can see what they really are. Therefore, this is the experience of knowing. This is the cave, Allegory of the Cave. So you know what? Hey, if you get that vision, you're a philosopher. You know what you got to do then? You got to come back down. Oh, he said, let me say when you get back down. You just got to be careful, they might kill you. Because you start telling them the truth about what they think is real in their everyday world, they're going to be so ticked off at you, they're going to kill you. He said, nonetheless, the reason you go back there is because now you can see the nature of appearance better than anyone ever could without this experience. Therefore, you truly know the nature of image thinking and the beliefs that produce them. So, Glaucon then goes one more step and he says, wait a minute, how do you do this? Oh, he said, I have to do it. It's one heck of a trip. So therefore he gives the education of the philosopher, right? Education of the philosopher. And it goes through several steps, which we will not have the time to go through it. If you'd like, sometime we can do it. But it's a philosophical way of understanding arithmetic, geometry. These are now become states of mind to explore, because he's using them as an analogy. Solid geometry, astronomy, and of course harmony or music. He said, after you pull this off, he said, oh, these are just the preliminaries, because then you have to get ready for the dialectic. Why? He said, because the dialectic is the only thing that will take you, if you've experienced this, that's what truly is, that's reality, there's no question about it. He said, wait a minute. If it truly exists, for anything that truly exists, it has to have a cause. And the cause is always superior to its effect. Therefore, you know what? As great as this is an effect of this. This is the true cause. Therefore, it's through this kind of dialectic reasoning that can break a person out of this so they can then prepare themselves to be here. He said, well, this is not an easy task. So Socrates, yeah, well, that's true. That's because, you see, he said, we really are strange people, you see. We come in the world with we already come into the world with an idea of what we are. Now, I can draw that so you can see the person. All right, look at her. You come into the world with a particular destiny. Every person has a destiny, see. But the difficulty is, as you undoubtedly know, you then find yourself in one of these places called home. And the family are going to impose their beliefs on top of you and to try to get you to become a loyal member of the family or the tribe or the clan. And so they go through a very interesting process of indoctrination so that you pick up beliefs about yourself. And therefore, these beliefs about yourself, of course, as you undoubtedly can click into, are the very things we're talking about when we're talking about the beliefs we pick up at home from our clan, from our family, that try to make us one of the loyal followers of whatever way of life they think is significant and important for us. These are the beliefs that we then bring together within ourselves. Therefore, we have two sets. A primary, what our destiny really is, and this thing, which is what we should be, an image. Now, there are 5 ways in which, there are 5 kinds of families you can line up into, basically, right? 5 kinds of families. And each one has a particular name, and they then bring whatever it is important within them, bang, and pile it on top of you, and that makes you. Okay, so what? Now we go into dreams. So this is all about dreams, by the way. Then Plato says, this is our condition. Therefore, if you want to get an insight into yourself, he said, the only way you can get an insight in yourself, there's only one way. Dreams. Book 9, Plato's Republic. He said, it's only in dreams that you can get the kind of information, knowledge, experience, that will give you an insight into this struggle of how you were indoctrinated to accept these beliefs, both from your society and your family. So it's through dreams then that awaken images of your past, present, and future, and provide visions, pure visions, or luminous experiences for those who are lucky enough to have them. So look here. All of this is what Plato describes as Socrates' Logos. This is what it involves. What does it involve? If you want to understand yourself or the nature of the mind, he said, then you have to see that in your daily life you have a goal and you're going to pursue it. All right? The more personally meaningful that goal is, the greater the likelihood you're going to be stuck with a block. Why? Because you see, you have this image of yourself that you don't know. These are unsuspected beliefs. Unsuspected beliefs about yourself. Not unconscious, unsuspected. Therefore, you go after your goal. However, you know that if you get your goal, that's going to change your view of yourself. And the whole nature of the dreams and philosophy based upon a Platonic vision is this and this are incompatible. What does that mean? That means you have a dream. You're pursuing it. There have to be steps to reach it. Okay, as you struggle and devote yourself to your goal, you run into a block. Why do you run into a block? Because if you achieve this goal, you're going to have to change your image of yourself, aren't you? Yes. That image that that accompanies the achievement of a personal, meaningful goal is going to be irreconcilable with the image that you have picked up from your family clan. And the other idea in here is also your destiny. Now, this part, destiny, is very important, okay? But I assure you we won't have time to do it. But later we can do it, and if you're interested in doing it, what you have to do is read Plato's myth of reincarnation. And you'll see the doctrine of reincarnation is saying everything we just said in symbolic form. And it's a magnificent bit. Okay, put it under the table for later. All right, now let's go. Therefore, if a dream It's going to be an allegory. Dreams are allegories. What is an allegory? Okay. A drama. The drama is going to have a basic functional analogy to it, just like in Plato's Allegory of the Cave. It's going to have similes, states of mind, and metaphors. Because that's exactly what makes up an allegory. All right. A dream is an allegory. Therefore, one of the most important elements of an allegory and a dream must have goals. All right. If it has goals, then you can see then in the dream what's happening as you then try to achieve your goal in your dream. Very similar to the picture I drew so well a few minutes ago. Right? Now look here. If it's an allegory, how does it fit the analogy? If dreams are meaningful, it has to have an impact on your present. It has to therefore answer one most important question is, why did you have the dream when you did? Therefore, the past 48 hours, most often, there's a relationship between these two that will then shape your future. So therefore, it's simple. All right, what are we going to do? I'm going to ask if anyone has a dream, and we'll do it. The heck with talking. Let's do it. Anyone bring one in? Come on up. Now, did you sign that sheet of paper that said, under no circumstance will you be released, blah, blah, blah? I'm joking.
I signed it. I signed it for everything.
Thank you.
How do you do?
And your name?
Charisse.
Charisse?
Nice to see you. Charisse.
Charisse. Hi.
Hi.
Pierre.
Pierre.
Righto. Let's go to work.
Let's do it.
Okay. Clean sheet of paper?
Please. I mean,
Yes.
well, I think so, yeah.
Yeah. You're not knocking the art, I hope.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Even though all my
this
figures are nude.
You're selling these as lithographs.
Oh, yeah. All my figures are nude.
Oh, that's a big selling point.
Did you have by chance, did you write it out?
Well, I did what you recommended, which was record it and then,
Wonderful.
Write it and then compare it. But now I have it all in my head.
Oh, wonderful.
But it's simple.
Yeah.
And it was last night.
Oh,
And,
that's even better.
I was driving up Beverly Boulevard.
Hold it.
Oh yeah, make yourself. You might need to take those off for this street.
I usually wear Birkenstocks, but I put on a clean pair
You
tonight.
are so wise.
Okay. Wait a minute. Do you want a seat or anything? Or
No,
okay
I
where you
was
are?
going to help you out with
Thank
the
you.
drawing.
Okay.
Thank you. So,
Right.
but we just need a little path, and I just need a room for a nice circle.
Okay, go ahead.
This is Beverly Boulevard.
What's the name of it?
Beverly.
Boulevard. Okay.
Beverly Boulevard.
Boulevard.
Right. And I'm driving this way west.
I happen to be good at driving.
I happen to be
and
driving.
drawing cars.
Oh, good. And I'm good at driving, and I was driving.
Okay, wait a minute.
And I was heading west
Of course.
before Fairfax. But my attention was diverted overhead.
Your attention.
My attention was diverted overhead.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, I'm driving this way. No, this way.
Yeah, I know, but that's,
But yeah, you
I
gotta
wanted to show
make
my
it's
art.
two-dimensional,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So I'm looking up, and it's a spacecraft that is in the exact shape of a circle.
Of course.
What can I call? I know it seems very
What
like
else?
cliche.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay.
But it is fatter than a typical spacecraft. It's like chunkier than what you would expect to see. And
Chunky circle. She's got me on this one.
it's chunky.
Okay.
It's thick. It's like and it's pretty big. It's like
Okay.
seriously bigger than maybe about a black lung.
I like that.
It comes over my car,
Right on. Okay, go ahead.
and I don't know where it went.
That's fair.
And so I got somewhere over here with some kind of dance hall, like this place, but a little bigger. And
What kind of a place is it?
kind of dance hall.
Dance hall.
We've had dances in
Okay,
here.
I'm going to join dance halls.
And people are here, and all kinds of people like you. Like, there's different people. Like, I would talk to and get to know you, and so all was fair game. I could talk to anybody about it, and I was trying to get a phone connection to say that I'd seen this extraterrestrial object in the sky, but I couldn't get through. And somebody in the group said, "That's the new airplane."
No. What did I say?
That was a new airplane.
That was a new
Airplane.
Okay, let me draw that person.
Yeah, I don't know which one of you said it. Just to say, that this is sort of like the group.
A new airplane. Okay.
I don't remember that person's face.
That's good. Male or female? That's okay.
Android.
One of them. That's okay.
That's all I really
Yeah,
can
that's
remember.
cool.
Okay, good. We're finished. Thank you so much.
Wait. We're not finished yet.
Oh.
That's where we're going. Similes and metaphors. Okay?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Say, I like the train.
Thank you. Not that you have to.
No.
What is simile again for that?
A simile means what is it like?
Right, okay.
What is it like? Right. So therefore, could you tell me, number one, what was it like driving along the boulevard going west?
Well,
What
it
was
felt
it
like
like?
the 1940s. There weren't that many cars, the way I love it.
Okay, thank you.
Not that I was born then,
That's okay.
but if I watched those movies.
Okay, good. And then you looked up.
Then I looked up, yeah.
What was it like when you saw the...
I saw it coming, and it was smaller at a distance, and then when it got bigger, it was like, whoa! And that was it.
Yeah. Whoa! Go ahead.
Whoa! But I didn't follow it or anything.
Yeah.
I just
And
went
then
on my
you-
way, and then
you
I
watched it? You watched it?
not in my rearview mirror.
No.
Nope.
No.
I let it go.
Okay. Watch now, okay?
Okay.
Breathe. I let it go. In every dream, there are three things you look for, all right? You look for the state of mind, that's called a simile. You look for an action taking place, and the logos. Right? Words, meaning, right? So we just got one. I'll let it go. I let it go. Okay, good. And then you then proceeded to the dance hall.
I tried to report it like probably, good citizen.
Okay. What was it like in the dance hall when you're looking for the phone?
Oh, wow, there were like outdoor areas, like out there, and there were people inside here, and then there was somebody at a screen over here.
Was there any sense of why you wanted the phone or use it?
To tell about
To tell about this. Oh.
That's it.
Oh. So what was it like that you couldn't
Couldn't
get
find
through?
the phone.
What was it like you couldn't get through?
Couldn't get through. Well, just kept trying. I tried probably 3 different times.
Look, kept trying. Come on.
Kept trying.
Yeah, what was that like?
I got a little distracted.
A little distracted.
Well, because the guy behind the screen over here, his dad has died.
Okay.
And he was looking at kids' pictures of he and his dad, so I got sad for a second.
What kind of a feeling state is that?
Empathy. Complete empathy.
A complete empathy.
Yeah, I ran empathy.
Right. Could you put other words on complete empathy?
On the screen, but that experience was
You're on the phone, right? You're trying to get through.
yeah,
can't
and
get
then I
through.
ran into that guy with the screen of his dad, his pictures of his family, and it was morning, and he just heard the news. Oh, he was trying to he was expecting his dad any minute, and instead he found out that his dad died. And so it wasn't just a death news; it was also a surprise.
Now, that's very important. See, and reflecting, you now remembered that part.
That's right.
Yeah, could you say it again then?
He didn't. He was expecting his dad, and his dad didn't come.
He was expecting his dad.
And instead, he found out.
Hold it, wait a minute, because your words are important. Expecting his dad, didn't come. Correct?
And found out he died instead.
And what did it do? What did you see?
And then he was looking at a screen in private at an angle of some family
What was it?
pictures. I looked at it like that.
No. What effect did it have on you? You're watching him.
My effect was,
See, there you are. You're watching him. What was it like?
I witnessed his grief.
Witnessed his grief. You have more?
And integrated,
I don't know that word.
integrated. I felt like the room had expanded, and I got a bigger understanding of the space that I was holding with all those people, of me being in it.
No,
Like there was more going on.
No, no. That's an interesting state, isn't it? No, thank you.
Thank you.
Now, wait a minute. You're in the dance hall, in the dance room. One of the people there in there, remember, before the phone call? What was that like? Just anything more?
No, it was kind of like the Hotel Cafe alley, and it was a little bit just like a venue, like where you would perform.
Everything we recorded is called the similar, right? That is to say, it's a statement, an interior statement about a person and an inner experience. Therefore, it's like something, therefore we call it a similar. All right, next. Everything in the dream, everything that is a furniture, an object, must represent something, and we'll go into that in a minute. That's taking a dream in terms of its metaphors. What's a metaphor? Anything in the dream that is an object must be there for a purpose. And therefore, when you then explore a dream, you want to uncork it. You want to discover what is behind it, since it's a metaphor. Right? Okay. Now we want to go back and take a look at it. All right, look here. Nice, interesting states of mind, aren't they? Yeah. By the way, would you say this, in terms of what you were doing and the goal, success or failure?
Pretty good. Success.
Success, because you got through on the phone?
No.
No, okay, try it again.
I woke up feeling okay.
That's true, but we're just interested in the dream.
Oh, okay.
The drama
The dream
of the dream.
success.
Was there something you wanted?
Failure.
Failure. Right. So we want to know, what does this mean? See, but we can't get to the word meaning until we unpack it a little bit more. You notice there are two interesting states of mind here. This wow state, watching flying saucer around, not saucer, contrasted with this expanded, right? Could you talk about the difference between those?
What's that expanded again?
Well, you said the room was like, you witnessed his grief, and it was...
Oh, in the room, I kind of got like a bigger sense of, I guess, the hidden compartments of the room.
Yeah, what would...
That felt like I was connected.
Ah, thank you. Felt like I was connected.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's an interesting state, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it possible that you've had that experience before, sense of being connected?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Look here. 10-1. Where would you put this?
Connected? Top.
Way up on top, right?
Oh,
So
yeah.
that's a
Yeah.
very profound experience of something. Yeah. Oh, by the way, the wow. Undoubtedly, you've experienced things you might call wow. Where would you put this one?
Well, a wow would be like the last time I saw something like that, which was through my bedroom wall. but there was no wall. And it crashed by the realty office.
I like that. Do it again. I like that. Try it. Try it on. Go ahead.
The last wow
Wow was
was when I saw a flying object like that through my bedroom wall, but there was no wall.
Yeah, that makes sense. What? Gotta help me. Come on.
Okay, so I just saw it. There was the wall got invisible, and I saw this same kind of thing,
Yeah.
but it crashed by the realty office.
Yeah, when was
And
this?
that was a big wow.
Yeah, when was this?
That was a couple years ago.
Oh, so this is another one like it.
Bigger,
Bigger,
chunkier.
only this is bigger. So therefore, where would you put it?
This
Way
yeah.
up on top of these kinds of experiences?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this
okay.
would be like right there, yeah.
Yeah, two of them, two wowers.
Okay, thanks. I'm sorry I had to slow you down there.
And you wanted to hear, you felt like you were connected. And here, what are you trying to do? Get connected?
Where
Trying
am
to
I
communicate?
trying to
Remember on the phone?
Oh, on the phone. Oh, I'm trying to get connected.
Yeah.
Oh. So
Here-
it was a success.
Here, yes. Here,
Yeah?
no.
No.
Couldn't get connected.
Right.
What was that like?
Oh, that was typical.
Typical
you know,
of
the
what?
phones are just like trainer wheels for telepathy. So they often go down. You know, they're just practice.
That's true. Look here. Now we're going to get you in the dream now, okay?
Um,
You're in the dream and you're trying to get through on the phone. Remember? And you keep trying. Doesn't work. Doesn't try again and again. Doesn't work. What's that like?
like nothing. Just like
nothing.
like I exist somewhere like a little pea in the back of my head. I just felt like I had to keep going, but I didn't really. My identity got like the size of a pea.
Yeah, like nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, so I'll draw a picture of you. Like
Yeah,
a
that's
pea.
me.
Right.
And it's green.
Yeah, that's okay.
Like a
Yeah, well, it's a green pea. Yeah, some restaurants split them for soup, you know. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Not quite that small.
All right. And by the way, isn't that interesting that you're driving this car and it's like the scenes of the 1940s, and even though you weren't around, what's that like?
What's what like?
Driving
That I
on the
was. Oh,
boulevard
what's the
and
dream like?
it looks
Oh,
like
wonderful,
1940s.
wonderful.
Oh, wonderful.
Oh, wonderful. You can appreciate the architecture.
Right, the architecture, all of that. Right, good.
Breathe a little bit.
Yeah, breathing better.
Yeah.
Oh. That was
Enjoy yourself actually
Yeah.
driving.
That's when they had air in LA. Yeah. Okay, look here, see? We can notice what I'm asking to do now, all right? We have 6 themes. And we kind of want to do this. See? And this is kind of normal. And I want to show you what, I want you to help me with this, all right?
Okay.
What we're calling scene 3, that's the big wow at 10, right?
Okay.
So you could say, that's where it is,
Okay.
all right?
Right.
And then you had this great one, which is interesting indeed, which is another 10. And that was connected, though, with this last scene that you recall, wasn't it?
It's connected,
So-
yeah.
Yeah. So, and then this failure at 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, where would you put that?
Oh, the failure? Like,
Down there.
whoa.
The P, remember?
Oh, the P. That's
Yeah,
right.
it's just like a
way
little
down
P.
there, yeah.
Yeah, put it down here, huh?
I'm sorry, isn't scene 2 the wow? Because we were just looking at.
Pardon me?
I'm sorry, forgive me, but scene 2 is the wow, not 3.
Oh, 2.
See?
Oh, excuse me. Thank
Who's the
you.
one?
Stay there.
Thanks,
You
man.
need me. I got
Yeah,
it.
don't go anywhere.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, now we got 4. Right, good.
3 is let it go. I
And
let
3,
it go.
I let it go. That's what we're now looking at. Right, what was that like? Wow! And I let it go.
It was like nothing. Just let it go.
Nothing.
I didn't feel obligated to follow it in my field of vision.
No, no. Do you notice that you use the word nothing twice? I like that, I do too. Yeah.
Funny.
3, what's that like? Fun, nothing. Yeah,
It doesn't exist. It's like a nothing.
it's like nothing.
Pathopy.
Like the pea,
Pathopy.
like the little.
Split. Split.
And we're saying that's number 3.
Okay.
Wow, look here. Dance hall. That was just nothing special until you got to the phone. So,
It was dance hall number 1, right? Oh, no,
now
5.
1
1 is
was
one.
wonderful, right? Breathing, nice
Yeah.
architecture. Where would you put that in terms of intensity and
6.
6? Okay, right about like here? Okay. So therefore, in terms of the levels of intensity, would you agree we can do this?
Where's 5?
Dance hall,
Dance
nothing.
hall, nothing. Start out on the middle ground.
Yeah. So you find it interesting then that these nothingness that brought you down, didn't it? It was a wonderful experience. And that judgment that it's nothing, right? Yeah. Find it curious that judgment that was pretty a major experience of yours. And then, oh well, I let it go. It's nothing. What are you thinking of? Good beginning.
Neutrality? What'd you say? Good beginning?
Well, just would you agree this is a very important experience? Wow, it was in the tenor.
Yeah.
I let it go. It's nothing.
No, but I was wowed by it, but I didn't feel obligated to it.
But I can't put that on the paper. Put that words on it, okay? I didn't feel obligated to it.
For some reason, I didn't feel I had to continue to watch where it went. Like, I didn't need to know its destination.
Would you agree, though, it was an object for you to try to communicate it to someone else?
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you think of that?
I don't know.
Neither do I.
Danny, what do you think?
No. I let it go. Nothing. Oh, hey, I tried to get you. Hey. Didn't work. Felt terrible. Does it look like
I let it go too soon.
when you called it nothing,
It was something.
it was something?
So nothing is something in mine.
And yeah, but what does it do to you in the dream? You let it go, not obligated, nothing. Is that curious?
Brainwashed.
Yeah, it's kind of brainwashed.
Yeah.
Something that would happens to be
Good, really good. And then they just like go,
yeah, do it again.
uh,
Yeah, what you going? See, that's it. Yeah.
so I'm missing really good things.
Yeah,
And
by
just
judging it
Judging it.
as, yeah, do it again. Yeah, right. See the gesture that goes with it? No, see the gesture that goes with it? It's got a whole body language.
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Like
Yeah. Where did you pick that up?
Shirley Temple.
No. No. Good old Shirley comes back. Oh. She and I went to different schools. Oh, yeah. We were kind of related. Her mother and my mother were both mothers, so we kind of, Yeah, but Shirley, can you give me that image? Come on, Shirley, come on.
Yeah, Shirley Temple.
Come on, go ahead.
Okay. Just maybe being cavalier about life to overboard. Missing important things because I'm just,
There it is. There it is.
yeah, just like,
In the hands and everything.
yeah, just
right?
like
The whole-
acting.
Yeah. It kind of does something to that wow, doesn't it? Right? It's acting.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Where do you feel it when you feel it? Like now, you're doing it, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're feeling it right now. What's it like now?
Well, I feel in the center of my head.
Yeah, like what?
I feel like a mindfulness coming in, like really, like big.
Uh-huh.
It's like my head's starting to get like really full.
Uh-huh.
I feel like crying a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Because you lost something. Treated as
I
nothing.
left something.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh. And I did woke up feeling like nothing really happened. I couldn't figure out what.
Nothing. Yeah, well, nothing carried the
Carried
day.
through the way, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
the day started out with nothing. About right.
Okay, this is how dream analysis now moves into philosophical midwifery. All right, philosophical midwifery now includes dreams. Why? Okay? Now watch, okay? This curious thing called philosophical midwifery gets its name because Socrates' mother was a midwife, and she had the reputation of being able to spot a woman who was pregnant in the earliest stages, knew all the difficulties she would go through, all the labor she would go through, could assist her in the birth of the child, could then not only do that, but judge whether it was a true and noble birth or not, and could also, by the way, curiously enough, and he kind of laughed and chuckled at this one, his mother was also good at linking men and women together so they could produce the best child and have the best family. He said, we don't like mentioning that because, there's a name, popular name that you give to someone who does that, which in Greek is pimpo. I don't know whether you're familiar with that slang expression or not, but you may. Okay, look here. Now, we're not going to explore the philosophical midwifery, but if we did, this is what we would do. Right? See the state? You got very close to crying in the moment?
Yeah.
Right? We would ask, what is the history in your life of the repetition of this state? See, we're looking now, here's your history. When did this state occur in your life? Right. That's what we're looking for, the history of this kind of state of mind. And we want to see the effect it had on what was going on around you. See? When we get the person to explore their personal world for similarities with this state of mind, then we can ask right at the right time. We can ask the important question, which is it possible that you have a recollection of this same state of mind when you were young, living at home?
Sure.
How old were you when you first experienced
I was
that?
feeling.
13?
No.
8?
3.
3. I love it. If we were going, I don't know whether you're open to exploring something that's personal
Sure.
or not.
I don't care.
What?
Sure.
Okay. Interesting state you experienced at 3 years old. Can you tell us what was going on?
My knees, I think my knees started to swell up a little bit.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah, and my mom and my mom was worried. My mom was worried.
Right. Come on.
And
Go ahead.
my mom and dad would fight a lot. You know, they argued a lot.
Your mother and
Dad fought a lot.
Okay.
But they're
was he present?
there was like something going on at
Okay,
that time.
okay.
They thought I was hitting the wall when I slept, when I was sleeping at night.
Okay. Now your knees were hurting you. Go ahead. And then what happened?
Then I think I internalized the upset in the house.
Yeah, possible. But just, you're 3 years old, and there they are. She's looking at you, and she's worried. Go ahead. And what happened?
I felt like I was upsetting them.
Go ahead.
And I wanted everything to be okay.
Uh-huh.
So I guess I acted like everything was okay.
Keep going with the scene.
And then I had a lot of night terrors, though.
You got what?
I had a lot of night terrors. Night terrors. I would wake up and talk in my sleep and not remember it the next day.
Yeah, okay. Good at drawing beds.
Yeah, so.
Before the sleep now, can you recall anything more going on?
No.
No.
It's like it's all black.
You had to make an interesting decision there, didn't you?
Mhm.
What was the decision? Your knees are hurting you. You thought you were upsetting them.
I wanted everybody to get along.
I wanted everybody to get along.
Yeah. I still do.
Yeah. So what did you decide to do?
I just act like Shirley Temple.
What?
Act like Shirley Temple?
By the way, did she have any knowledge that your knees were hurting?
Yeah.
Oh, she knew that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why they were worried. She was worried.
Yeah. So she knew. Yeah. Now, what do you make of this now?
I don't know.
Now, well, that's like, see, you have to reflect on it. Right? Say, wait a minute. What did she do after you gave the picture that everything was okay?
Well, I'm afraid then I got sicker. And then they got to put me in the hospital.
So you started worrying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I got really sick. And then I used to cry, put myself to sleep crying, and then I had to go to the hospital.
Yeah, cry yourself to sleep.
Yeah.
By the way, there your knees are hurting. She knows that. And you want everything to be okay. You didn't want to upset them. So what did you do?
Well, I would beg them to not get divorced.
You what?
I would beg them to not get divorced.
At this moment then?
I would, yeah. Well, all through this period, like 3 to 7, I would do that. It was like, it's all merged there.
Yeah. By the way, what happened? Do you remember the pain in your leg, your knees?
Uh-huh.
And what did you turn it into?
What I turn it into?
I don't know. I mean, I'm worried about your knees.
What I turn it into? Well, then, like,
Did you-
sickness.
I don't
I
know.
kind of got sick. I had to go to the hospital, and then I had, like, they didn't know what was wrong with me. They thought I had rheumatoid arthritis. But then,
Yeah,
then,
see,
you know.
what I'd like to do, though, is not deal with the implications of this, just stay with this. See?
Okay. I don't want to deal with it either. I just want to deal with what that is. Do not. So what is your question again?
Just what followed.
What followed? Like,
Yeah.
like when? Like right away or?
Watch. Watch, do it again. See, your knees are hurting. You know your mother knows. They've been arguing, right?
Yeah.
You didn't want to upset them. So what happened next?
Besides, oh, I know what happened next. I started, that was when I got clairvoyant.
That's when you...
I got clairvoyant. I would travel and fly, and I would be able to watch all kinds of movie pictures, and I opened up this thing in my head.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That was after this.
Right
Right
around
here? Right in there.
In this here.
So
The head
therefore,
thing happened, I started to feel again.
then you started seeing
Things.
movies.
Yeah.
Right?
Movies.
Movies, as it were. Right? Right. Oh, what happened to painting your orange?
Well, it got kind of, no, the movies were good. That was the good part. Then I was sick for a while, and then I got better.
Yeah. See, by the way, what do you think of what your mother's doing? What would you call what she's doing?
Worrying.
Remember, she's worrying, and then she watches you get into this movie kind of stuff.
No, she didn't know about it.
She didn't know. Okay, so this is private.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Okay. So what does she do with her word?
She had a lot of clubs.
She did what?
Bridge clubs.
She closed down?
Bridge clubs.
Bridge.
She had a lot of bridge clubs. She played a lot of bridge.
Oh, like San Francisco Bridge?
Now like cards.
Okay. Okay, try it now, okay? She's really worried, so it's a good time to play bridge. You got it? What name are we going to call her for what she's doing?
Shirley Temple? No.
Maybe. Well, I was just wondering.
Oh, yeah, because you know what else happened?
I'd
She
like to-
always would read billboards. If we were going to ask her anything serious, and we were in the car, she would read the billboard and not answer it.
Hey, do you remember this term you used a moment ago? How did she treat all of that pain and worry? As if it was what?
Nothing.
Ah.
So did my dad.
How's
Oh,
she
yeah,
treating
yeah.
your suffering?
Well, I can't say that, but
Well, you
but
can?
they didn't know what to do about it,
Oh,
so
they're
they
dumb.
carried on.
They're stupid. No.
Maybe. I don't know.
No way.
They left it to the doctors.
Yeah, they should have.
They did, and the doctors
When?
didn't know what they
Wait a
were
minute, when? Right away, or did she go play bridge? Come on.
I don't let me see. It all mixed together.
You see, now we're using this word nothing, see? But we do not want to force it. But if she then, with all of this worry, turns away,
Yeah. Well, she liked to have a good time.
well, who's having a difficult time? You?
No, she had a good time. She liked to have a good time.
Yeah, she liked to have a good time. And you have the worries with your knees, right? And she's worried, so she's going to play bridge. I get it. How is she treating your...
I don't know. She didn't know what to do.
She didn't know what to do.
She
Okay.
did what she could.
Yeah, because she's stupid.
No.
No, she's not. What do you mean she doesn't know what to do? You don't have to be a doctor or a lawyer or
Well, no one
anything.
knew what to do. Doctors didn't know what to do either.
Well, then how did she treat it? As if it's what? Nothing? Say, by the way, did she ever relate to you as if it were something? Anything?
Well, sure. She acknowledges that. Yeah.
The things-
When she got older.
Oh, when she got older,
Like
she
about
didn't
80.
acknowledge. How long did she have to wait?
Well, then she had more pain.
Oh, and she had more pain than she
She
could
could relate to it.
Ah, pretty interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, what do you find
Yes.
interesting about it?
Well, if you don't know what to do, I guess you do nothing.
No,
As opposed
if you
to-
don't know what to do, call on help.
Call, but then
Yeah, get help.
if you don't know what to do.
Like on your phone call in your
Then
dream.
you phone call, exactly.
Yeah.
And then you don't get any help anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, but then what? How come you don't get any help?
So, if we could get to see her state of mind at this moment, it would be very helpful, because then we could ask a couple of questions. See?
Okay.
She's, look at, she
Upset.
sees you're in it, right?
Yeah.
Right? You don't want to upset them,
No.
but you got pain.
She already
She
is
knows
upset.
it.
They're already upset.
There are because of this war between them.
Yeah, they're just, yeah.
Yes or no?
Life's hard, yes.
No, okay. They're already upset. Okay, look at it. And now you're coming upset, and now they have a decision to make. Which upset are they going to deal with? Which? Theirs or yours? So it's not a theoretical question. In that
Theirs.
3-year-old scene, we want to capture what she's doing.
It's theirs. Theirs. They're
Yeah,
upset.
yeah,
They had to deal with their upset.
they had to deal with theirs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you treated your own as if it was what?
Nothing, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Better than my sister, though. Doctors told them to close the door if she cried.
Well, that's a good doctor. Look at your doctor.
They changed
I'll trade you for mine.
They changed doctors.
Okay.
I had it better.
Yeah, okay. Question, okay? This experience of nothing, all right, what role has it played in your life, especially after something significant has played a role in your life?
Uh-huh.
And could this be where you learned it? To
Yeah.
bury your own,
Celebration.
treat it like nothing. Right?
Big odds. Wows, I mean.
Yeah,
Uh-huh. Definitely.
yeah. Okay.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. We had a good time,
Good time. Great time.
right?
Thanks so much.
That's Dreamwork.
Yeah, that was fabulous.
You think something of it.
I
Or is
got
it
a
nothing?
lot out of it. I got so much out of it. I'm going to be just processing
You're
for.
going to be another Plato.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, you're in.
Thanks so much.
Okay, go back now. Look here. What do dreams do? We're saying, Plato says, dreams are going to throw light on your present. Right? It's going to throw light on your past, and it's going to prepare you with the freedom to move forward into your future. But the things we have learned, you don't know that you have learned until you then surface them. Now, I'm what is called philosophical midwifery. Let me tell you how I came to this idea of using dreams. I had been working with people for some years with this model. When people had a difficulty achieving some goal, practical goals, we'd have a talk, and we'd get where they're stuck, and we'd get the state of mind where they're stuck, and we'd go through an analysis and try to figure out why they were blocked the way they were blocked. And so, a good number of them then went on and achieved their goal. There's a problem, you see. I got disgusted with this. Because even though people have important practical goals, I didn't see that they were moving in a philosophical or philosophically spiritual way that it was of any significance. And And so while this was handy and worthwhile to do, I didn't think much of it. But I had, in my own life, some great dreams, especially July 22nd, 1955. That's when I was born. And during all of my work, I would always make notes of my own dreams. And then one day I said to myself, what's going on? Don't do this. Don't do this anymore. Unless this goal is not practical, but a personal, meaningful experience. It has to be personally meaningful. Intellectually, spiritually significant. Why? Because then when you look at dreams, you discover something most important. You see, what we inherited, we came into this world with our own destiny, right? We don't know what that is. You can get caught up and achieve all kinds of things. It's not even important in the slightest bit if you're not manifesting the destiny you came into this world with. So therefore I spent a good deal of time now, like we just did, and saying, wait a minute, is it possible then, by looking at dreams, the dream itself will criticize this and say, hey, you know what, you're doing the wrong thing. Let me put it another way. If someone has all kinds of goals, spiritual goals as well, they might go into yoga, they may go into any spiritual system. How do they know that's the right system to be in? Could it be that they choose one that fits their problem? Some image they have of themselves that isn't real? How can you tell whether or not the path you're taking is genuine and fits you and your own destiny? That's when dream work becomes most important and central to someone's existence, because that will be the subject of your dream. Once you know that that's possible, your mind will cooperate with you and present you with all the material you need for your own growth. Not easy. Yeah.
You know, I've been doing dream work for some time, and it's been remarkable.
Pardon?
I've been doing dream work for some time to inform my path, and it's been really remarkable. But I've had the good fortune of doing it with someone who's pretty masterful. But so many people out there that are sort of on the wrong track and don't have the access to people who really are very, very highly skilled at helping them navigate that dream world. You know, it's almost like, what do they do?
I'm not sure I get the fullness of your question, so let me give it back to you in a different way.
Yeah.
What would you say about, is it possible that we could get kids who have been sexually abused and they're in institutions because they're dangerous to themselves and society? Is it possible that these people with such a low profile and low education could ever respond to this kind of work we have here? I'd like to introduce you to Regina Liana, who is using this kind of approach in her own work with people just like I just described, and she's doing brilliantly with those people. What you really need is not a depth of learning. You have to listen to people, respect them for what they are, and help them with the goals they want. But you know what they want? They want to get back here. They want to know not these artificial goals, money, cars, degrees, and that nonsense, but what's most meaningful to their own soul. I'd like to go into that, but that's the myth of her, and that will take us another 2 hours, and I'm probably running beyond the time at this point anyhow. So, sir?
Just could you actually explain,
Louder, please.
can you explain what philosophical midwifery is? It's about the birthing of the soul.
Philosophical midwifery now includes this work, but now central to it is the exploration of dreams that will then reveal the true nature of their problem. And when it's connected with their daydreams, that's what we do. We connect daydreams, connect them with dreams, and you can see how one plays with the other and they come together in a most meaningful, synergistic fashion.
And you would say that Socrates said that that was also that was a technique of he, like his mother, he could see people's souls and help them birth the truth of their soul. Is that correct?
Yes and no.
It's like a
See,
birth of the soul.
I'll tell you what. I'll try to. Plato is not Homer. Everything I put here about dream work and the drama of a person's psyche is all an exact mirror image that you can find in Homer's Iliad. Homer's Iliad is a perfect example of philosophical midwifery. Achilles is the worst possible person in Greek society. Worst person. The whole book is to show you how he can see the nature of his problem, how he can bring together the roots of his problem, so he can then challenge himself and break out of it, and then become what his destiny was to be, which was to be a great warrior in the Trojan War. Plato doesn't do that. Plato's doing something else. Plato takes his view of how do you explain someone who is ideally the most perfect person, the true philosopher king. That's the Republic. He doesn't deal with what happens if you make mistakes, if you can't achieve your goal, you fall. He doesn't deal with this. Homer does. Plato doesn't. And that's what, by the way, for 1,000 years, people used to write essays on Homer's Iliad. Allegories, major study. No more, of course, because something happened called the Dark Ages. They weren't dark for some of my ancestors, by the way. They were barbarians who probably helped sack Rome. Thank you. Any questions? Lachlan? Thank you. And Raina. Thank you. Any more questions? I need something to drink.
One quick